Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and thank you for joining me for another video. Now today we're going to be talking about training your mind. Now when you start a new job, always the first few days, even weeks, are just so tiresome. You have a lack of energy, or you fall asleep as soon as you get home, friends call you up to go out, and all you want to do is sleep. Have you heard the saying, don't worry, after a little while it will just become routine? Now why do people say that? That's because you need to train yourself to adapt to your new routine. Well, that's like the mind, it needs to be trained. When you do something enough and repeatedly, it starts to become a regular action. For example, when you get up at the same time every morning for work or school, your body and mind start to get used to that. And then after a while, you even find yourself waking up before the alarm goes off. Now, I'm not saying that you'll do that 100% of the time for the rest of your life. Just like we have a day off from work, sometimes our minds also need to have a day off. And especially if we're out on a weekend or we've changed the routine somehow or perhaps gone to bed a bit later than normal, this also can affect it. But for ourselves to initially achieve change, 95% of the time, we need to train the mind. Now, I'll give you an example. When Julie wakes up in the morning or when she goes outside, she doesn't feel pretty at all. She puts on her makeup, then she starts feeling she's overdone it, then she sees all the spots on her face, and then she starts having a conversation with herself and trying on 1,000 outfits which she feels doesn't look right. And then what happens? In the end, she doesn't bother to go out. Or she cries so much that it makes her look even worse than when she started. Her anxiety sets in, she feels so low, her energy's gone. She ends up not bothering to go out. Does that sound familiar, sisters? So I'll give you some general advice, but please remember, like I always say, everyone is different and acts and handle things differently. So this will not apply for all of you. Some of you might even have a great morning routine. So anyway, I'll start with to change the way you feel about yourself before you start your day, and to help your anxiety, you need to first start changing the way you wake up in the morning. Because believe me, waking up in the morning to that horrible alarm which keeps going off and off, and then looking at your hair which is a mess in the mirror, or going to get your coffee, walking like a snail, this is not going to do anything for your self-esteem. So what I want you to do is I want you to wake up and I want you to scream, Alhamdulillah, I am alive. Yes, sisters, I want you to do this. Try it. You can even put a brush beside your bed, give it a little brush before you get up. The night before, prepare your special drink that you like in the morning, a cappuccino or a mocha. I want you to change your morning routine. And believe me, sisters, after changing your routine, this will have an effect on your mind and your body. I want you to try this. Try this for at least a few days to 7 days. And hopefully you should start feeling the change. You should start feeling a little bit better. And I know some of you, half of you will be like, yeah, I feel a little bit better. Half of you will be questioning, oh, who do I think I am? Julia Roberts. But why not? Why can't we be Julia Roberts? Then what I want you to do, after you've got to a point where you're happy with your morning routine that you have designed for yourself, you have designed, no one else, I want you to go to the mirror and you're going to have a conversation with yourself. And I told you talking to yourself is normal. And I wish more people did this, I really do. I do it, and I know many people will do it, and it really is an effective way to reassure yourself. So what I want you to do, I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to start with saying Bismillah. And for all non-Muslims, this means in the name of Allah. Then what I want you to do is say, I am beautiful. I want you to say it as loud as you can, 10 times, 20 times. I want you to say it so you really, really feel it. And say it like you've just won the lottery. Say it excitedly. Okay? And non-Muslims, you can also do the same. And don't forget, sisters, mashallah, don't forget to say that. And for non-Muslims, what this means is a gift from God. We say this whenever we compliment somebody or about their looks or about just them in general and about how they are. Now what I want you to do after that is change other little things in your routine. Perhaps it could be prepare an outfit the night before, put your shoes by the door, get your bag ready, things that really are going to benefit you. I really want you to think about the things that will benefit you, that will cut time for you also in the morning. Now you see, training the mind, it's routine, it's repetitiveness, it's small steps, it's knocking down the walls we put up and replacing them with slopes. Now this method can be used in most parts of your life. Once you've mastered it, you can train your mind to do many things. For example, when a person tells a lie, the lie gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and when he keeps repeating it, he even starts to believe his own lie. He gets lost in his web of lies. So ask yourself, sisters, are you lost in the lies that you've created for yourself? Have you been telling yourself every day, oh, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough, no one's going to want me, oh, I can't do this, oh, I can't live with life? And this is not to be patronizing, sisters, but this is what we do. Have we been lying to ourselves? Now, I want to dedicate this especially for the Muslims, although it's so great that non-Muslims are also listening to this. But we know and are taught as Muslim how the shaitan knows exactly what we are thinking and what we feel. And he's always there whispering to make the things that we're already thinking 10 times worse. So we need to take control. We need to change, because shaitan is already working so hard to change us. He's working hard to change how we feel about ourselves. And it affects how we view life, and it puts pressure on our beliefs and our faith, and even how we view our surroundings. As Muslims, we are taught that the Quran is a healer. So we have many things to also help us to change and change our mind. Make dua to Allah. Ask Him to give you beauty and self-worth. Seek refuge in Him from the accursed. Keep saying this over and over in your routine. Another thing you could do is spend more time in mirrors in your bedroom. Don't always spend so much time in the bathroom, sisters. Or start your day off with a little bit of YouTube of the Quran instead of Beyonce or Miley Cyrus or whoever you're into. That's the joys of being Muslim, as we have many things to help us. So I leave you with all this in mind. Remember, start training your mind today. Don't leave it to make more damage, upset and more pain. Remember, small steps make big changes.